Stepped up to the house party, kinda faded. J's on mask on, yeah, I'm kinda basic. You stood out, Halle Berry cut, amazing, amazing.
Kingsmen.
We bike. We bike. Welcome back. We last episode we were talking a lot about the presidential election, and we're going to continue that conversation. And when you watch this episode, the election is probably a few days away.
Yes.
So I'm going to encourage everyone to. Thank you. I want to encourage everyone to follow Kingsmen at Kingsmen_music_group on IG.
You see it.
Comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We go to our Instagram page. That's where you find all the links to everything that we're doing. And do your research for the election. Your choice for who you decide to vote for is your choice.
That's it.
Don't hate you for that. May have some disagreements, but you're entitled to how you feel and what you want to do. So just do your research. And I'm going to say this. Do your research not just on a presidential candidate, but on your local candidates.
That's what really matters.
Because that's really what's going to affect you. We forget we live in the United States of America. So each state has its own kind of thing going on. And who you vote for in your state, who you elect in your state, is going to have a large impact on what you're doing, or property taxes and things like that.
Speaking about states, Trump actually wants the state to be involved in the decision making as far as the abortion, right?
I'm not touching that, bro. Paul. That's because that's a
this
woman's
is what it
subject. And I agree.
They don't want the feds in it.
I believe that women should have the right to
They should
have to make their choice.
But that's, again, we're speaking about choices.
Yeah, Trump is just saying, give it to the states.
Give it to
the
the
people
state.
in the state will tell you what they would like to do.
That's all. I mean, that's that. But back to this interesting race. Now, last week, or the last episode, we were speaking about how Obama decided to speak to black men. Now, he decided to speak to black men, I believe, because unfortunately for the Democratic Party, Harris is not doing so well in the polls. Now, of course, CNN, CNBC, all these companies that ran by Blackstone and some of these companies that if you do your research, you'll really understand why they're making the decisions that they're making. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The truth is not being told on these media platforms on how close the race is. It's not looking good for the Democratic Party. And it's been told, or I guess the demographic of people voting is shining some light on black men.
Yeah.
You and I happen to be considered black men in this country. And we are not, how can I going with the status quo? Not even status quo, going with the...
We're making decisions based off of what's important to us.
Thank you very much. Thank
Personally
you
and for our families.
that.
It's just that simple. It has nothing to do with hating anybody or anything. If I disagree with you, I disagree with you. And if I choose to vote for somebody that has a policy or a train of thought towards something that I agree with, that's it. And Harris has some things that let me correct that. The Democrats do have some ideas and some ideologies that I do support.
Like what?
I do believe that the police, there needs to be certain, I don't believe in defund the police, but I think there needs to be some guidelines for what you can and can't do. They need to be followed to the T, and when that's violated, there needs to be consequences.
I agree.
To say for one, I do believe that because racism still exists, I do believe that affirmative action could still stay in place because some companies or leaders who own businesses may, not guaranteed, may disenfranchise black people. Some schools may disenfranchise black students from enrolling because that rule is no longer there. We have no control over that. That's something I agree with because I think it just puts some guardrails in there to ensure certain things.
I will say this. I do agree, but then I don't, because I'm tired of the victim mentality that a lot of black Americans have. I heard at one point, people wanted reparations, and it was told by, I believe, a gentleman, Byron, I forgot his last name, but he said,
Byron Donald, the guy that was on
on the Breakfast
okay,
Club.
yeah.
He said, for people to get reparations, for black people to get reparations, that means the quote unquote others would have to pay for that. If you really think about it now, the generation that is here now, a lot of their parents are from Europe. They weren't even born here. So you would be getting reparations from people that have nothing to do with the ancestry slave and the slave.
I agree with that argument, Dre. However,
I mean,
I think that for
tired of the
I
victim
do
mentality, bro.
believe that for the black community,
Sick of it.
I believe that in the black community, the goalpost is constantly moved back and moved back and moved back to where it becomes impossible for them to logically and practically do some of the things they should do, specifically for our community. Jewish people have gotten money for some of the horrors they experienced. Asian communities have gotten money. I'm talking specifically money for some of the horrors they experienced at the hands of America. Native Americans, absolutely, rightfully so, even though they're still marginalized in certain areas of the country, have gotten. Black people built the wealth of this country. And so because you keep saying, oh, it's been 100 years, we can't track this, and that. Yeah, but you know what was done.
So how do you?
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. We have a lot of.
I agree with you. I'm just saying.
We have a lot of things that we want.
But I agree with you.
No answers. And then on top of that, let's just say this: Asian people. Yes, I do agree that, that there are certain demographic of people, or not racist because we're a human race, but people from other countries have gotten. How can I say, reparations, if you want to call it, monies. And you know what they do with it? They bring it back to their what can I say? They bring it back to their family, and they build and they make it larger.
I don't think the black community would necessarily do that. But my point is that whatever I do with them, whatever they decide to do with the problem. It's not the problem. Whatever they decide to do with the money is what they decide to do with the money. But I do believe that there should be some reparations in place. I believe that. Now, whether or not we can do it, I understand that it's a difficult process. But we're saying, where's the money going to come from? I'm sending money. I'm sending billions of dollars, trillions of dollars overseas.
Okay, so
to countries.
That's a great point.
You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me you can't find them. You can say
the Democratic Party is one of the leading causes of this inflation that we have.
Facts.
Right? So we're paying for illegals to come here and experience a life that, yes, I believe a lot of black folks should experience, But it's unfortunate because I do know, and I was told, I remember a friend of mine I worked with, and he was telling me how his aunt never worked a day in her life. She has an apartment that is paid for by the tax dollars, and she doesn't plan on working or doing anything. She happens to be a black woman, right? There are a lot of black people that are experience these quote-unquote reparations that don't plan on working. But we don't say nothing about that.
That's not reparations. That's welfare.
And
the Caucasian community. The Caucasian community.
I'm not talking about the Caucasian.
Okay, but I'm saying like they use welfare more than black people. That's a statistical. Fact.
Listen, my thing is this victim mentality that black people have been having. It's such a turnoff for me because
Dre, I'm gonna let you finish, brother.
Yeah, please. Because God has allowed us to be born in this country. Bad as it is, you have the opportunity, the choice, and many options to make it better for you and your family, and bring it back to your neighborhood and your family. But that's not happening.
I don't think that it's a victim mentality.
I think it is a mentality.
I don't think you're a victim because you're stating something that is factual and saying this happened to my this happened to my community.
And who allowed it?
Wait. This happened to my community. Because this happened to my community, by and large, the ramifications of our status in this country regarding building wealth, so on and so forth, had been, and to some degree is still slower or lower than other communities. The same kinds of, not even the same to the same extent or the length of time, but other communities who have been put in concentration camps, Asian communities, Jewish communities that have experienced atrocities at the hands of the American government, sooner than later, got their money.
Right now.
But you're saying for us, because it happened so long ago,
I didn't
you
say
can't.
that.
No, not you. But I'm saying
okay.
there's some people are advocating it happened so long ago. That's no longer actively happening in the U.S. Get over it. Tie your bootstraps. I do believe you get up, you go out, you work, you use the opportunities that are given to you. But I'm not going to dismiss what had happened to the people, to the black community.
So how long do you continue to?
Until you give me my money, bro. Give me my money. That's what I'm. Listen, I'm logical enough to understand that you're probably not going to get reparations, but I'm also balanced enough to say I do believe that there's some should be coming to us. Point blank. Period. That's it.
I'm not opposed to monies being received.
Huh?
I am not.
I don't hear nobody.